So our next dish today is Basil Cannelloni, again from our amazing Flavor and Nutrition booklet. Just another reminder, guys, please do have a look in the description bar for all the recipes for today, as well as more information on eating well during cancer. So the first step of this recipe is to preheat your oven to 180 degrees. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay. You also need to get a frying pan out because we're going to just heat up our oil, and you want to just have about a teaspoon of olive oil on the heat whilst we're preparing the first batch of ingredients. This is a great recipe because it involves so many ingredients, so it's packed full of vegetables, therefore packed full of nutrients. So we're just going to finely slice our onions. Those are sliced. We're gonna add this along with our chopped garlic and our chilies into our oil. So firstly, I'm gonna go ahead with the chilies. I have about 10 cloves of garlic here. I'm going in. And the rest of our onions. So you want to cook this for about 3 to 4 minutes until it gets the onions become quite soft and you can really smell the garlic and onions infusing. So once the onions start to get a bit soft and you can really hear it sizzling away, that's when we start to prepare the rest of our ingredients. So we're gonna go in with our peppers. I'm gonna chop these quite finely. Remember, this is gonna go into the cannelloni, so try to cut them as finely as possible. Keep an eye on what you've got cooking on the pan. And we're gonna go in with our kale and our mushroom. So I'm just gonna, again, cut the mushroom quite finely. Before adding the next batch of ingredients, I'm just gonna season to taste. So I'm gonna add a bit of cracked black pepper, which I love adding to all my meals. Give that another stir. So now we're gonna go in with about 1 tablespoon of water and our mushrooms and our peppers. And our kale. So we're going to give this a good stir and cook it for about 15 minutes until everything softens and it begins to cook through. The great thing about the recipe is it involves so many different vegetables, and it's all about what you can get your hands on. So if you can't quite find any kale, you can always replace that with spinach. If the chilies are too spicy for you or you'd like to take them out, you can go ahead and remove that as well. There's so many ingredients there, and you can kind of like play around with what you have access to in your local supermarket. If you find that your mixture sticking to the pan, feel free to add a couple tablespoons of water and continue cooking until you've hit your 10 minutes. Okay, so in the meantime, I'll just get the basil ready. So you want to get half of the basil, chop it up finely. And you'd want to get a tablespoon of tomato paste. Add a tablespoon to the mixture. Add half your basil to the mixture. And about 100 ml of water. You want to again give this another good stir. we've got about 4 tablespoons of ricotta. And 1 tablespoon of harissa paste. And we're going to just mix this together. So after about 5 minutes, take off the pan, let it cool for a while, and then we can start prepping our cannelloni shells. So we have about 8 shells here, and we're going to stuff it with this mixture. So find a small enough spoon. If your mixture is cool enough, you can use your hands, but today I'll be using a spoon. Do is just try to get as much of the mixture inside the shell as possible. So here's another tip, just get the mixture in with the beginning of the spoon and then use a tip to just get it all the way through there. So once we've filled our cannelloni, we're ready to prepare our passata mixture. So what you want to do is get a bowl, and you need about 250 mils of passata. Pour that into your bowl, and you want to get the rest of your mixture, of which you stuffed your cannelloni with, into this bowl as well. And you also want to add about 100 mils of water to this mixture. And then give that another good stir. By this point, the oven should be ready, and we go ahead and pour this over. You can always get a spoon and spread this to make sure that all the cannelloni shells are covered. And now we grab the harissa ricotta mixture we made earlier, and we're gonna just dot that all over. And now our cannelloni dish is ready to go into the oven. Okay, so it's very important you place the baking dish in the center of the oven and leave it to cook for about 30 to 35 minutes. So I've had the quick look, it's been about 30 to 35 minutes. The cannelloni shells are nice and soft. So let's just take it out of the oven. Would you look at that? The ricotta's gone nice and golden with a nice golden hue. Everything looks cooked through. So now the final step is just to add the rest of your basil on top and go ahead and sprinkle some lemon zest. So these extra ingredients will add that extra punch and give it a bit more flavor. So let's plate up. Okay, so let's give this a taste. the lemon zest in that bite. This dish is packed full of flavour. You can really feel the basil coming through, you can feel the lemon zest. The kale is nice and soft but still has a bite to it. So this recipe has been chosen specifically for its healthy eating. It is quite high in calories, but it's also really high in nutrients and vegetables and proteins. So as you saw, it is packed full of vegetables. And do feel free to replace any of the vegetables there that you're not too keen on, or even add more vegetables to it. As it is alone, this dish contributes to about 3 of your 5 a day, and adding more vegetables to that just gets you closer towards that number. Also, it's healthy eating. Healthy eating is not just for anyone living with and beyond cancer or any other non-communicable disease. It's for the entire family. So do feel free to get all your family and friends involved in trying new recipes, and involved with you trying new recipes as well. And I'd like to encourage you all to just experiment with taste and flavour and texture, especially whilst you're living with and beyond cancer and experiencing taste changes. This dish as well can be frozen, so if it's too much at the moment in this serving, do feel free to cool it down, put it in the freezer, and when you're ready to, just defrost it and pop it in the microwave and you're good to go. So yeah, that's all from me today. I hope you've enjoyed cooking along with me and enjoyed these recipes. If you do need any more information, do feel free to contact us anytime. All of the information can be found in the link in the description bar. So do have a look at those links. Do go through all of our information about eating well during cancer and beyond cancer. Have a look at all of our other recipes. And if you have any further questions, do feel free to get in touch with us anytime. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for watching.